I go ahead and I write and talk a lot about hunting bucks during the rut and going ahead and utilizing how they find does to our advantage. Okay, a lot is talked about how bucks use the wind in life. I'll be honest with you, there's been pitifully few scenarios where I've been able to actually prove it playing out. Now, I think that it does play out. I just think it's a very, very situationally specific when it occurs. Okay, that this buck is entering this area with this wind under these conditions. Yes, I believe it does happen, but I believe that it is a learned behavior, and I believe that the overwhelming majority of bucks out there never learn it. That said, when it comes to utilizing the wind to find does during estrus, that are in estrus, completely 100% different story. Even year-and-a-half-old bucks, by the end of their first rut, seems to have figured out that, I can use this to my advantage. Now, big time. And one of the ways I can do that is during the day, all I have to do is work that downwind side of that doe bedding area, and just like that, I scent checked every single doe that happens to be in there, assuming the wind's right. Well, the problem is that only works in very specific situations, and that is I have a defined doe bedding area right here. When that's the case, that is a beautiful thing. And that happens to be a case that I often do use hinge cutting. To go ahead and hinge cut a little half-acre, third of an acre area to create a bedding pocket there. Also, you can go ahead and plant evergreens. You can plant warm season native grasses. You can plant Miscanthus ex giganteus. You could go ahead and each year plant different bedding products. There's ways to go ahead and create, and by the bedding products, what I really mean are various shielding products, these annuals. I tend to stay away from the annuals because I don't want to recreate that bedding area every single year. What I do most, plant trees, cut trees. That is how I create those doe bedding areas. Now, really think about how you're going to go ahead and utilize this. For one, I want them close to the food. I want my does close to the food because that gives bucks space behind them to fill in. Okay, does very comfortable being as close to the food as they can feel, as they feel safe. All right. The other reason I want these close to the food is because I don't want to go ahead and trash that woods when I go in there to hunt the downwind side of these doe bedding areas that I'm constructing. Okay. Another really great example is I happen to have a funnel right here. Okay. Well, and I can get to and from that funnel over and over, very low impact, very low. Well, if I go ahead and create doe bedding over here, doe bedding over there, ooh, sucky, now we're in the game. Because you know darn well those bucks are going to go through that funnel going back and forth to check those does. All right, really think about how bucks use the wind to find does, and we can go ahead and utilize that ourselves to lay out our habitat in a way that maximizes our hunting efforts at the exact same time.
Final thoughts, brought to you by Huntworth.
Understanding how mature bucks use the wind to find does is huge when it comes to habitat layout for habitat improvements. I want to make an improvement here because there I can hunt that downwind side. I want to make improvements here and here so that the bucks go through this funnel that I can get to over and over, get to, hunt, and get out of over and over without them knowing I'm there. And always remember, if they do not hear you, if they do not smell you, if they do not see you, you were not there. Perception is reality for whitetails. Okay, so by keeping these spots low impact, it makes a huge difference in being able to hunt a property hard without the deer realizing it. And when it comes to laying out doe bedding, we can make a really big difference as it applies to our buck hunting if we use our heads.